Hey guys, Aaron here, coming at you with a knife review. This is a knife that some of you guys have known that I have had for a while, and it's one of my favorite knives, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. So, this is the Jake Hoback A10 Alpha. For those of you guys who don't know, Jake Hoback is a custom knife maker out of Henderson, Texas. And he is known for these sort of like Fallout, Mad Maxian kind of looking folding knives and fixed blade knives. And he's really a great guy. I've kind of gotten to know Jake via USN and emails about orders and stuff. If you're on USN, I run his owner group, the Hoback Horsemen. So if you're looking to join that, just shoot me a PM over on USN or on YouTube, and we can get connected. But these knives are the middle knife in Jake's A series knives. There's the A8, which is a same size, but is slightly smaller, thinner, more rounded, more pocket friendly handles. And then the A10, which is this one, and the A15, which is going to have a longer blade, just bigger profile overall. The first run of A10s were collaborations with the knife designer Alpha Hunter, thus the Alpha, and him and Jake have worked on a number of projects together, including A15 releases, A10 releases, so on and so forth. The A series are all of Jake's designs. They're his knives that he designed, that then Alpha picked out some specifications, such as the A10 Alphas have S35 VN blade steel and the handle finishes and stuff like that. Normally, if you were to have bought one of the first run of just the regular A10s, they were going to be CPM 154 or a steel along those lines. Alpha Hunter and Jake are coming up with another knife called the Warhorse that should ship in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, that I will be getting. And that knife is strictly Alpha's design that Jake sort of tweaked a little bit and is building. But anyways, Jake Hoback's knives are big. They are big knives. I mean, you can tell just by the thickness and the size profile that this is a big knife. This A10 has a 3 1/4 inch blade, made of .14 thick S35 VM blade steel, and the knife overall is 8 inches, so it has a long handle to blade ratio. The handle scales are 2/10 of an inch thick, and they're made of 4AL, 4V titanium, and the knife itself weighs right around 6 ounces. So it's not a light knife, it's not a small knife, but if you like a big chunky knife, a good chunk of titanium in your hand to hold it, and something that really locks in there and will give you a positive sense of the knife that you're holding, this would be a good one for you, I think. Jake is really known for his stone washing, acid dipping finish techniques, and you can really see, I mean, this blade is nearly black from the way that he's finished it, and the handles have a really aggressive stone washing on them as well, that I'm a huge fan of. And whenever I've ordered a knife from Jake, I always tell him to make it extra Mad Maxian. So you can really see that in this, I think. The A10 is an incredibly comfortable knife to handle. When I was sort of getting into Hoback knives and everything, I heard a rumor that Jake took moldings of his grip and built his knife around that. Now, I can't really confirm that rumor, but it would make sense. This is an incredibly comfortable knife to hold. It has a very large index finger choil here, formed of course by the flipper when it's in the open position. I really think that is a great feature of flipper design knives. But then immediately following that is sort of a finger groove for your middle finger, and then the handle has a downward sort of descending angle that really allows it to lock into your grip. This is a very positive, grippy knife that you're not going to lose any traction on. The downward grip angle is very similar, I think, to something like the Kershaw tilt. You can see with the blade at 90, the handle begins to fall down like that, which is pretty neat. The tilt does the same. One knock, if I'm going to give one of Jake's knives any knock, is the pocket clip. While it's very simple, just made of titanium, it contacts on some of these really milled out parts of the handle scale, and that can really rip up your pockets if you're not careful when you take the knife in and out. Overall, that is a pretty minor beef, and Jake textures his knives differently. There are a bunch of different options you can have. So you can have it so that it doesn't rest right on these really aggressive grooves. And I may actually switch this knife to tip down carry just to avoid that. But that's a very minor thing. That would not affect my decision in purchasing one of these knives at all. So to deploy the knife, it is a flipper deployed knife. And if you know me at all, I think a flipper knife is the best method to deploy a knife out of all of them. Better than thumb studs, better than spidey holes, better than automatics, better than anything. I think a flipper is just great. And it rides right along here are some of those KVT, not KVT, but they're ball bearing captured nylon washer dealios in a track along here on both sides, and that really lends it. That paired with a strong detent really lends it to this just lightning fast, near assisted deploying speed like that. In my 1,000 subscriber thank you video, I had a guy ask which assisted knife this was because it really does seem like it's being assisted out of there. The lock, I'm getting kind of weird light tonight, guys, but the lock you can see there is a titanium frame lock, very early, and absolutely rock solid. No movement up or down, side to side, anything. I would be surprised if it did, but it's very positive, very rock solid, just really something to be proud of on Jake's end there. The lock bar can be a little tight to disengage just because of the tension, but even as a lefty with this being a right-handed knife, it's not anything that I have a problem with. Let's see. As far as the blade shape and the materials go, this is kind of like a drop point knife with a very steep front edge here. And what that will allow you to do is you can actually rock cut with the tip, but you also have a lot of belly for a good slice. And if you're getting into some thick material like cutting an apple, you have a very long, flat cutting edge there too, with the functional tip. Overall, it's almost kind of a near like modified Tanto blade, and I'm not saying that it is, but it lends itself to that. And then Jake has ground some swedges in there, but left it relatively thick towards the tip for tip strength if you were going to get into any sort of work that might stress the tip at all. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, the blade steel is S35VN, which I think is a fantastic steel. Lots of edge retention, wear resistance, stain resistance, all of that stuff. It is a less chippy steel, if you will, than S30V, and it has overall good toughness and edge retention. But I have found that if you're looking for a knife to really get a shaving edge out of, S30V is a better choice in my opinion. But in terms of an EDC knife in a roll that's going to be used and you don't want to necessarily have to sharpen it up all the time, S35VN is, in my opinion, a really great choice. Kind of in summary, I love this knife. It's big, it's tough, it's kind of mean looking. It's really an example of excellent craftsmanship on Jake's part. Really something for him to be proud of, and I know that he is proud of these knives. You couldn't buy a knife from a nicer guy. Jake is accommodating, he's friendly, he's accessible. And right now, his prices are reachable. He's getting a lot of attention on USN and at knife shows and across the board. And I think you're going to see his knives get more expensive soon, in addition to being difficult to find. I know that at the date I'm making this video, yesterday I saw an A10 in the Cove for $5.25. I don't know if it's still up there or not. But if you want a knife from him, send him an email. Get on the list. Seriously. I have 2 knives coming within the next couple of months, and I'm very excited about them. You guys will see them. I'm not going to spoil the surprises. I mean, you know I'm getting the Warhorse, but I'm not going to say anything else. And yeah, overall, I mean, I guess that's kind of it. If you're looking for a more in-depth review of this knife, check out practicallyeveryday.com, where I've written an extensive review with very detailed pictures that you can see. And yeah, I appreciate all your feedback, guys. Thanks a lot. Aaron.